Today I have an interesting story for you. We must remember that not every man watches YouTube before coming to the Philippines. Sometimes, especially young men, simply talk to women in the Philippines, get attached and hooked, come here, and ruin their entire life. This is Hacker Canada's story. He says, "Is this a Filipino thing or what?" Hey folks, I'm a 23-year-old from Canada currently visiting Manila alone. I ended up matching with this girl on an app, and after we exchanged pictures, we started talking on Instagram. She seems pretty well off. She lives alone, owns her own apartment, and just seems to have a lot of money. So, I told her that since I'm from Canada and prefer cold weather, I'm planning to head to Baguio for a month before flying back home. Out of nowhere, she says, "If you want, I can come with you to Baguio." Now listen, I don't know if this is just a Filipino thing or what. I've dated a Filipino girl before, but it was long distance and we never met in person. We eventually broke up. This time it feels different. This girl is already talking about going on a trip with me after only chatting for a bit. She even said she'd drive 4 hours back and forth every weekend just to see me, even though she has work during the week. Like, who does that, eh? When I asked her why she'd go all the way to Baguio and then back to Manila just for the weekend, she said she could totally handle it. She even called me cute. Honestly, I'm kind of confused. Is this just how Filipinos are? I worked with Filipino people back in Canada, and they were super friendly. Really caring, eh? I used to work at a restaurant, and I remember having an incident once. A Filipino coworker got so worried about me, which made me realize how kind they can be. So now I'm wondering, am I overthinking this? Is this just a friendly Filipino thing? Or could this be something more? This is my first time in the Philippines, and I'm not sure what to make of it. Would love to hear your thoughts, eh? What would you do in my situation? Poor young man. He has no idea what he is getting himself into. So many things to discuss. The Canadian Filipino are very different than the ones here. Here is what happened. You saw her Instagram photos, saw a few photos of her on a beach, in a nice apartment, in a nice hotel, sipping on a glass of wine, laying in a bathtub somewhere, and you assumed those pictures represent her life. No, my friend, listen, my Canadian friend, these are just photos of her sucking another man on an island, going on island hopping tours on boats from other older gentlemen who pay for her time. All she does is post them online to make it seem that she has money. Ask yourself, what kind of person that is well off has a month to waste in Baguio? You said she works yourself, so how is she able to take a month off? That is not how the Philippines operates. If she has her own business, you must go there. If she has her own money, you must see it firsthand. Go to her house, look at her photo albums, look at her upbringing. Unless she picks you up in a $100,000 car, she is not well off. You must verify absolutely everything a Filipina tells you. Let me tell you the reality of it. The reality is she does not have a job. She has nothing except for you being the key to her future. Yes, she has some photos on her Instagram, but I promise you, those are not paid by herself or her family. It's some fat, older man who pays for everything in exchange for her body. Yes, she's out there sucking her brains off and making sure that she gets these photos so she can capture the next big fish, which is you, a Canadian man coming from a first world country with no experience in the Philippines. First time, yes, that is the truth. She does this on a regular. Every day she sucks off another man. Every night she's laying in bed with another man. So she does not mind sticking around with one guy, making a scene though that you are the chosen one. Sometimes these women don't even care if you take them back to Canada or give them money. They want your white genetics because that's what they think is key to success, to have a mixed baby so they could earn money when the baby is older, that becomes a celebrity because yes, that's what they still believe, that every half-white baby becomes a celebrity. Skeet Desert says, yeah, she's trying to lock you down before someone else does for all the reasons mentioned above. And you guy in the Philippines that hasn't been spoiled yet. Acrobatic Nectarine says, Have you actually seen or met her in person and spent at least a couple of days with her on her apartment already? If not, do that first. Yes, precisely. You should go to her apartment. If she claims she has an apartment of her own, why aren't you there right now, spending every night with her? Why are you rushing to take a random girl on a month-long trip to a random city? Think with your head. You're only 23 years old. You have no idea what you're up against. Acrobatic Nectarine continues by saying, to be fair, the drive to and from Baguio to Manila is only 4 hours, so it is doable to do a weekend trip. What's unusual is that her claim that she can drive to you. Usually only well-off or professionals with stable income that own a car that can do that in the Philippines, let alone a woman. If that is true, it is a good sign that she is independent and can stand on her own. I think you are taken back that Filipinos knows and speaks her mind because, to be fair, most are usually timid and appear indecisive and just follow the FM's lead. Here is the kicker. We just found out that this person is not Caucasian. Katuk says, you are Canadian, you are white, bonus, you are young. All the reasons for a Filipina to get full speed ahead. Buckle up. But the original poster says, first one, I am light-skinned from North India, but cute according to her. I was born in India, but raised in Canada. Okay, there is your answer. No Filipina is interested in a dark-skinned fella. Even if you are light-skinned, you are still an Indian, according to her. Big red flag that she's willing to do all of this for an Indian man. Not to be racist, that's just the way Filipinos think. Philippines Guilo says, can you handle a very direct answer? The line between girls and escorts is very thin, one in this country. Most girls can't afford just traveling around. Bonus points if you pay for things such as air tickets, hotel, fancy dinner, rides, and souvenirs. She might have done that a couple of times already. Nice beach pictures for her Instagram and Canadian bedtime are the cherry on top. Most girls here have a history. Some other guy here said it before. It's not your girl. It's just your turn. Precisely. This is exactly what is happening. All those photos that you see, all those clothing, dinners, bikinis, trips, beers, drinks, night out, beach, hotel rooms, yachts, boats, flights, whatever you're looking at is paid for by another man, not herself. And now it is your turn because she needs to update her photos on her Tinder and Instagram profile. What do you think is happening in this story? I want to know your opinions regarding this matter. This is the catfish of the day. How do you go from this to this? The best comment from yesterday's video of why Filipinos don't care is from John Sherman. I lived in the Philippines for over 2 years and was very active and immersed myself into the culture. I encountered things that would scar some people for life and dealt with all of the childish shenanigans, but the only thing that I cannot accept is that virtually everyone I met, whether a beggar on the street or a well-educated professional by Pinoy standards, viewed me as an opportunity to financially exploit. The beggar asks for change, the companion feels entitled, and the professional class will try to bait you into a business venture that will invariably wreck you. It's a predatory country. You can find many other places to enjoy your early retirement. Cheers. A sad truth about this country, something I've been trying to tell you for over a year now. For whoever is listening, it's not to say that the Philippines is all bad, but it's a lot worse than anyone ever told you on these YouTube channels. This is the truth, the other side of it, things that you need to know before coming here. The worst comment is from Chris. I married a Filipina 40 years ago and retired here. Life is good. And while I'm well aware that there is no shortage of impoverished lowlives here who might cheat their own parents, I've mostly had good experiences. 40 years ago? You're not qualified to comment on today's dating scene. Yes, back in my day, a Coke was a nickel. Thanks for watching. God bless.